What's up, everyone? I'm Yasmin Woodland, and welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing good today. Now, I wanted to come on here to do this video because there has been some drama on Twitter involving Kailyn Lowry. So, as you can see, there was a tweet by the name of a girl named Sydney, and this is what she tweeted. She said, quote, "Stop telling your kids their absent parent still loves them. You're teaching them that people who abandon them still love them and that it's acceptable." So that is what that person had tweeted. They were just giving their thoughts on an absentee parent and how parents should not tell their kids that the absentee parent still loves them and still cares, because if they did love them and care, then they would not have been absent, right? Kail actually retweeted the tweet and she stated, "I don't know if I agree with this. What's the alternative? Telling them the other parent doesn't love them and the child question why they're not good enough, amongst other things." So Kail was just sharing her thoughts on that topic and how she felt, and she disagreed with the original Twitter poster, and she was just saying, I don't think you should tell the child that the other absentee parent does not love them, because then the child will question whether or not they're good enough. Why didn't they stick around? Why wasn't my existence good enough for my parent to love me? Why don't they love me? Like, they'll just have so many questions running through their head, right? So a lot of people had a lot of things to say, and people were going back and forth on Twitter with Kail and her opinion. Another Twitter user stated, "If the other parent loves them, they would show them and not be absent. It is not your job to make excuses for the other parent for being a POS. The child should grow up knowing the parent should have been there and wasn't. They need to be taught boundaries as kids." So Kail actually replied to this person and she stated, "I never said make excuses, but to say that they don't love the child, ... I don't know about that." So again, this person was just stating, why should me, as a parent, make an excuse for the other parent not being there by trying to sugarcoat things and say, hey, they do love you, they do care for you, they're just not around. And, why make excuses? Just be blunt and be honest with that child and say, hey, they're an absentee parent, but I love you, I'm here for you, and things of that nature. So, another Twitter user stated, "Just don't talk about the absent parent. I hardly talk to my son about his absent father. I told my son in 2014 that his father just got released from prison. Maybe because the absent parent was in prison for 10 years of my 16-year-old son's life, it might have been different." Now, Kail replied to that person and said, "This isn't realistic when the child is asking." All right. So the Twitter user again was suggesting, hey, just don't even mention, the absentee parent. Don't say anything. Don't speak about it. Just tiptoe around that elephant in the room. And Kail was just like, listen, I don't think that's realistic. If the child is asking about their father or their mother, whatever the case may be, then I do feel like it is best to have some sort of explanation than to just try to not speak about the truth, because it's not realistic.
Now, Lindsay Chrisley actually had her opinion on this as well. If you all don't know, Lindsay Chrisley is a part of Coffee Convos with Kailyn Lowry. It's a podcast that they share together, and she's actually a part of it. And she actually chimed in and stated, "I love this topic, very relatable to many of us, writing it down so we can share it with listeners." So a lot of people were excited about that because, as we all know, Coffee Convos has been suspended for some time, meaning that they haven't really been recording any podcasts. So I know a lot of people are looking forward to listening to them. But back on the topic here, this is I don't know, everyone. This is like a weird situation when you want to be honest with the child without hurting the child. But I look at it this way. The child is going to be hurt either way, right? I mean, they have an absentee parent, whether that's a mother, whether that's a father, or whether it's both parents, I think there's a way of saying things without being harsh. You can be honest and have open and honest dialogue with your child once they become of age and they're able to communicate and understand communication. And I think you can talk to them and state, hey, your mother or your father or both parents, they are not here. They're absent parents, and that was their choice. Everyone can make choices, and I'm here for you and I love you. And you can leave it there, or you can, go a little bit more in depth. But personally, I don't feel like you have to say, well, that parent just doesn't love you. You don't have to say that particularly. You can just say, hey, that parent just chose not to be a part of your life. And you can just leave it to the child to draw their own conclusions past that point. But to say bluntly, like, they just don't love you. They don't love you. And just try to, put that in their head. It just kind of does seem a little, I don't know. It just seems a little hasty. I don't know. What do you all think about that? And I do agree with Kail. Like, you don't have to say that word particularly, like they don't love you. I think the child can understand, well, they just didn't care enough to stick around for me. I think that child will understand that without you being blunt and stating that for them, So that's just how I feel about it. I think all in all, you just need to have open and honest dialogue. And that's the only way to just have a healthy relationship with your child, and just to have them have an understanding so they're not growing up, without having all the details of, why their parent isn't there. And I think the child is going to be hurt regardless, though. And that's sad. So that is the drama that was going on Twitter with Miss Kailyn Lowry. As we all know, she's super opinionated, but I kind of love it because a lot of people are afraid to share their opinions, and I like the fact that she isn't. So what do you all think about this situation? Comment below and let me know. If you're new here, also let me know in the comment section that you are new to my channel. Welcome. I'm well on my way to 10K. Super excited. Thank you all so much for supporting me, and I will see you all in my next video. See ya.